Afternoons between 1 and 3 p.m.
The Sharing Space
on the Clement Manyathela Show.
702.
Time for the sharing space. What happened there? Okay, sorry guys. I hit the mic because I'm excited about the sharing space. So, on the sharing space, this is an opportunity for us to share our stories, to share what happened at work, what happened with your partner when you were on holiday, maybe something that's been troubling you, a thought you have been going through a lot. This is an opportunity to share that story with us and hear what other listeners' thoughts are. And I know some of you often ask for advice. You can ask for advice and the listeners can call in and tell you what you think you should do. And I hope all of you that have sent us stories on sharing space, the advice that came out was a lot more valuable to you. Today, we've got an email from, am I reading this name or is this anonymous? Doesn't say on this email. Should I just read the name? Okay, so this is a message from Kinelwe. And this is an email we received. And you can send us your stories as well on cm@702.co.za. So Kinelwe says, "Hi Clement, I have a 1 year, 8 months old baby boy. So the baby boy is 1 year and 8 months old. I would really love to get him a baby doll, a toy, simply because I think it should be gender neutral. But my son's grandmothers and father think I have some sort of gay agenda. If I had to motivate it, I would argue that this would help him develop nurturing skills, hopefully help him develop empathy as well, among many other benefits. Do you and your listeners think all toys should remain gendered? I'll listen on the radio. Regards, Kinelwe." Okay, this is an interesting one. So what are your thoughts on what Kinelwe is raising with us this morning? Do you think that toys should remain gendered? Kinelwe says her 1 year and 8 months old baby boy, she wants to buy him a baby doll, wants to buy him a toy, a baby doll, simply because she thinks that it should be gender neutral. But there are some people around her in the family who are criticizing her and saying, you can't buy a baby boy a doll. And her argument is that this would help his boy develop nurturing skills. Maybe help him develop empathy, among many other benefits. And I'm interested to know from you, one, what do you think of Anonymous's choice? And because Anonymous wants to know from you, I mean, Kinelwe, not Anonymous. Kinelwe wants to know from you if you really think that toys should remain gendered. So maybe you can advise her on what to do, given that some people in the family are criticizing her for this decision. And do you buy your girls traditional boy toys? Say maybe a car or a truck. Or do you buy your boys the traditional girl toys, like a doll? Let us know your thoughts on 011-883-0702. And when it's your child who says, no, mommy or daddy, I want that. Maybe your baby boy says, I want that doll. What do you do? Do you say, no, that's for women? Or do you actually buy them the baby doll because it's the baby doll? It doesn't change anything about your son. Or when your lady says, because there are women who are in engineering, there are women who are into fast cars, who work and are holding key positions in those industries because it's been a passion of theirs for a young age. So just because they love fast cars or maybe that's what they want as toys doesn't mean anything. It speaks to the passion. Maybe it speaks to what they want, they're interested in that moment. How do you navigate all of this? Let's talk. 011-883-0702. Alternatively, send us a WhatsApp right now on 07.
The Sharing Space
on the Clement Manyathela Show.
702.
15 minutes before 12 o'clock. Let's go straight to your calls now. Let's start with you, Matthews in Fourways. Good morning.
Hi, Clement. How are you?
I'm all right, man. Go ahead.
Good. Clement, I've got a 3-year-old daughter. She plays with supposedly boys' toys, being cars, bicycles, scooters, all of those kind of things, which ultimately give her spatial awareness. She also plays with dolls. When I drop her off at school in the morning, she asks me for a doll. I have to go and find one, and all of the boys are playing with the dolls. So I think it would be a very sad world if boys were excluded from being allowed to play with dolls. I don't think it's a gender, or I don't think it should be a gender-biased toy. It's all format, all girl format. And to the original question, I think it does promote some sort of caring nature, empathy, all of that kind of stuff. Plus, ultimately, children need fathers. And how can you father a child if you've never held a lifelike doll or things like that?
Exactly. Matthews, I couldn't have said it better. Absolutely agree with you, Matthews, in 4 ways. That's why Kinelo in that email says, for me, I want to do this because I think this is going to help my baby boy develop nurturing skills, develop some empathy, among many other benefits. And that is why fathers are unable to even handle their girl daughters when they're older. You are also you're only operating at a financial level. Oh, here you go, whatever you want. But actually, do you know how to nurture? Do you know how to care? Do you know how to comb their hair? Hello, fathers out there. Do you comb your daughter's hair? Do you know how to do it? When did you learn how to do it? But because the society we're in and communities say when you're a boy and you're playing with a doll and you're combing that doll and you're nurturing it, then they think that something is wrong with you. When you're a woman playing with tracks or toys, they think something is wrong with you. Yeah, Chief Makanya, what are your thoughts? You calling us from the South Coast in KwaZulu-Natal.
Yes, Clement, good day. I have a little bit of a problem when we start asking these kind of questions. I'll tell you why. I mean, because what is our end value? What is it that we want at the end? So if we are going to, unless if the child, you see, I'm for the child saying this is what I identify with. I would like to play with guns, and I would like to play with, if it's a girl child, I would like to play with scooters, and that's fine. But now, if I am the one who is now introducing a doll to a male child, because that is what society wants us to do, it affects the child in the future. For instance, I would give my girl child the robust toys that are played by boys, and then when she gets older and she loses that femininity that a male might want, she might lose a lot of relationships to get the relationship that identifies with what she likes.
Wait, why would she lose her femininity? Because she played what? With a car?
If I'm going to, you see, if we are going to be that blasé if I'm going to teach you in a certain way, it will affect your output at the end. How you identify with something. If I am going to play in the farm and grow up in the farm, I would not have an identifiable intelligence of a location mentality. That's a set. So if I'm going to give my child toys to play with that are non-feminine from a young age, she is not going to be able to say what you just said now. Do you know how to care? Do you know? Because that's how you teach the boy child on how to care. That's what you just said. So now the girl child loses that for the future, because now she doesn't have that care, she doesn't have that touch, she doesn't have that. She plays with only boys' toys. So when do we then identify which is the line that we don't need to cross to half it, to say, okay, you give it so much, but you still.
Yeah, and if they have both, Chief Makanya, I'm sorry, I'm not convinced that someone just because they play with a doll or as a man, as a boy or as a girl because they play with a truck, somehow that's going to fundamentally change who they are. But
you've just made that, you yourself, Clement, you've just made that.
No, I didn't say it changes. It says it enhances. So as a man, right, as a man, if you are bringing it, it enhances it. But that doesn't mean you lose your masculinity just because you are having a toy that enhances and develops your nurturing skills.
Yes, that's what I'm saying. So we need to. How do we then get that half, that 50%? That is what we are going to get worried about, because if we overdo it, then it would affect it. Because if that's what you are teaching all the time, that's the output that you are going to get.
Yeah. Would you get them both, Chief Makanya? Would that work?
Yeah, if you can get them both, but now that's
oh, your line. Oof, that line. Okay, let's try that again. Chief Makanya, your line was breaking there. You said if you get them both and then? Okay, sorry, it's not gonna work. I'm sorry, Chief Makanya. Your line is breaking so bad. Tonic, you are calling from Midrand. Good morning.
Thank you very much, Clement. I got through first time caller. Thanks. I'll comment quite a bit on your shows. But so here's my perspective, right? In the context of a 1 year, 8 month-old boy, it's probably inconsequential, but maybe if you can extend it just to the next few years of that boy.
Okay.
This is what I want to say. Men and women do not experience, as soon as you step outside your house, you don't experience life in the same way. Men are not valued for their nurturing. Mark that, right? So buying, if I had a daughter, I would buy, in fact, I've bought my daughter, in fact, offered, because she refused, like the toy cars, those kinds of things that might be deemed masculine. But it's not necessarily that way, because she will also drive, right? Although, as she grows up and she has a partner, she might then prefer, even if it's her own car, to be in the passenger side. So can you see that we don't experience life in the same way? So buying a toy car to a girl might advantage the girl, but buying a doll for a boy doesn't necessarily advantage the boy, in the sense that the boy is not valued out there for his nurturing.
Really? Okay. Tonic, there are women out there who would like a man who's got some emotion and who's nurturing. And I think that's why...
That's what they say.
That's why men... I agree with you also, Tonic, that's what they say. And this is what we discussed in the previous hour, that women will say, oh, I want a holistic man who's got emotion. But the minute you show that, then you're seen as weak.
And not only the minute you show that, who do they choose out there as the preferred partner?
Yeah, I've got lady friends, and I often hear that, it must be a bit of thugness or whatever. That's the reality out there, where they're like, be rough around the edges a bit. And when those rough people show them flames, they come crying here. It's like, but you wanted rough. But to the point though, Tonic, I don't know, like, do toys really have such a huge influence like that? And I don't know, then how do you deal with it when you are in a shop and it's your baby boy who says, Daddy, I want that doll? Do you say no?
I would. No, I wouldn't. You see, this is where now the nuance comes in.
Yeah.
I wouldn't. The same way that I've offered my daughter a car and things of that nature, and if she refuses, I wouldn't necessarily try to shove it down her throat. So yeah.
All right, got it. Tonic, thank you so much. Sandy, so in Joburg, what are your thoughts?
Hi, Clement. How are you saying?
Kimnat,
number one. No, I actually felt, whatever, perhaps, toys you prefer to buy kids, regardless of perhaps what inspired you to do that. I think it's got no particular attachment to how the child will be or should be when they grow up. Because I remember we used to, when I grew up, watch a lot of wrestling, but we were never violent because of that. We just loved the sport. And in contrast to that, my sisters, when they grew up, because they were the adults, as they grew up at home, they were milking the cows. But when they grew up, they still did or still do what ladies do, you know? So I think, even though it's quite a nuanced subject, but I think the moral fiber is, as long as the child grew to know what, are the moral aspects, perhaps things that they need to follow as they grow up to be an adult and to be, a responsible citizen. I think that's actually what is at the core. Otherwise, anything else doesn't quite hold water or doesn't matter at all.
Sandiso, couldn't have said it better. Thank you for your call in Joburg.
Uncle Clem, how are you? PJ here. Well, not a baby doll per se, right? I think a teddy bear would do. But if you have to get a baby boy or baby girl, gender neutral toys, they need to come from their liking, My son loves and sees me cooking, and therefore he wants a cooking set. I don't think there's a problem with that, and he'll get a cooking set. But
hi, 702 Anonymous here. Here's my take on that topic. I think Kinelwe is doing a very good thing for his boy, because the boy will learn how to treat a girl, or let me say a woman in life. I think it's a good thing. Let her allow the boy to have all toys. Toys for boys, toys for girls. Especially the one for girls will teach that boy to know how to treat a woman, because today we've got a problem of men who are abusing women, who are even killing women, because, like I would say, they lack knowledge of who women are. I think that is a good thing.
Hi, Clement and the team. I think for me, I have a 6-year-old girl and a 4-year-old boy. What I've noticed with children is that children show interest in things. It may just be for a season, a very short time, or long term. But for any toy that I've bought my children, I can't say it has, it has changed their character or whatever the case may be. But instead, it brings out certain things in them. So I totally agree with the mom who thinks that a doll can help her son to be more nurturing and, caring, because my daughter owns dolls. For Christmas, I bought her an actual Barbie doll, and it's sitting in the corner in the house. So she's not really interested in it. If my son were to show an interest in dolls, I would get him one, because I don't know what developmental skills is going to put in him in that season. So if kids are interested in it, allow them. Honestly.